Online gaming has developed and maintained a stigma over the years, especially amongst socially minded student populations of universities. We went out into the field to speak with students who self identified as non gamers in order to better understand outsider perceptions of the gaming community. First, we explored their gaming backgrounds.
Hi, I'm Suzanne. I'm a junior here at Maryland. I'm a government politics major, and I would describe myself as a non gamer.
Hi, I'm Parker Vale. I'm a freshman football player, and I don't consider myself a gamer.
I'm Casey. I'm a freshman at Maryland. I'm a math education major, and I am not a gamer.
My name is Mike Tart, University of Maryland, play football, and I'm a communications major. I am not a gamer.
These students, though adamant about their unfamiliarity with gaming, nonetheless admitted to having a familiarity with the gaming culture in some capacity.
When I was in elementary school, I played the Super Nintendo, Mario Brothers, but that was only a little phase of my
In
life.
my entire life, probably less than 10 or 15 times. They were on a console, mostly like Wii games or some kind of interactive game like Rock Band.
I'm
or
mostly a
something.
sports game type of guy, but to be honest, I'd rather just watch the game, a real game on TV, than I would play a
Yeah,
game.
I've tried games. I've tried, Call of Duty. The typical mainstream games that everybody's playing. But I've never really found myself getting into them or making it a lifestyle like some people do.
Eventually, they begin to open up and reveal their stereotypical views of gamers.
I think a gamer is just somebody that plays in excess, just play games all day long. I mean, they're missing classes to play games. They talk about it with their friends all the time, and I'm sure everybody's seen the people in the quad that are just talking about video games and stuff. So I think they'd be in that category of gamer.
Have you ever find a gamer as a person that spends most of their free time playing video games and not only plays video games but interacts with other people that play video games?
Maybe people who don't know how to interact in society. Somebody who only puts their time into playing a game, which means nothing to the real world.
World of Warcraft, I think in particular, has a different connotation than if you're playing those games like Call of Duty or something like that. I know a lot of my guy friends play that, but World of Warcraft usually has a different kind of crowd. It's usually a little bit more of the gamers and the hardcore nerd kind of people. So
It's a lifestyle. I think it's a different breed of people, um, which I don't hang out with very often.
I don't think people that sit in front of a computer and play a pointless game is normal.
I think they're losers. Can I say that? I'm gonna look like a dick. No way.
I think they're sweet and harmless, but it's not someone I would hang out with just because I feel like they don't have the same interests as me. They're not interested in leading a life of actually doing fun things like going to games and actually getting experiences under their belt. They just want to sit in the room all day and play video games and live an alternate lifestyle, which is not what I'm into. So no, probably not.
I think it's a waste of time. I think it's a waste of your life. You hear people say all the time, "Well, I beat the game." Well, what did you accomplish? You didn't accomplish anything. You're the same person you were.
If you're spending your entire lives cooped up, get out there and do something meaningful where you can actually look back on memories that you spend with your friends and family instead of sitting in front of a TV or video game screen all day. It's not worth it.
I think we try getting out there, trying sports, maybe try playing an instrument, try doing something constructive that'll pay off in life. Because ultimately you'll be more successful, and you also it'll pay off, and it'll be worth it one day when you say, "This is what I have from all this hard work," not spending countless hours on the computer, on your Xbox or PS3 or whatever, just wasting your life away. Because if you think about it, in 5 years, none of it's going to be relevant. So it's just do something constructive.
Cut your time in half and do something productive.
Get a life.
We interviewed a researcher at the University of Maryland College Park about the formation of community and the stereotypes surrounding gaming.
Hi, I'm Maria Velasquez. I'm an American Studies graduate student. at University of Maryland, and I'm teaching American Studies 260, American Culture in the Information Age. So what you see in terms of these like out-game communities are communities based around use and analysis. In-game, you'll see a lot of communities based around shared fictions and fantasies and sort of like leisure activities, which is a really interesting kind of way to approach something that's essentially a hobby, because people will get really, really into it and make like really amazing and awesome like friend groups and stuff like that from it. But at the same time, all of that in-game work is seen as being sort of less useful and less healthy than doing something like kickball, you know, which is really interesting because kickball is as much a fantasy as, you know, World of Warcraft, because with kickball you have to pretend that it really, really matters the way that someone kicked a particular ball and that someone caught it or didn't catch it, whereas with World of Warcraft you're pretending it really, really matters that your avatar killed a dragon, you know?
Eric, Devin, Nadia, and Ryan are longtime gamers who agreed to speak with us on the topic.
After victory, beverage. Like I'm playing StarCraft 2 a lot right now. I play definitely way too much. I play it probably an hour or two a day at this time. But that's because I live in the real world right now and I have to work and do a bunch of other, you know, responsible things.
Hi, my name is Ryan Peterson. I work for the federal government and I am a gamer. So sports, MMORPGs, strategy.
I like to play adventure games, really, or just kind of like fun arcade style stuff. I'm not really into the whole first person shooter thing. It's kind of weird and a little disturbing to me, but
We're certainly not the ones who stay at the computer all day, kind of like in South Park.
Well, yeah, there's you know, nor would I consider myself like a professional in that sport like someone in South Korea.
Yeah. By the way, the winner recently just got 85 grand for winning a StarCraft 2 game.
StarCraft
Tournament.
is a national sport in South Korea. Weird.
I've been playing online games for 3 years now.
I've been playing MMOs for probably 4 years now, on and off though. I've always had a struggle between MMOs in school, and school usually wins out on that.
I think that what's really interesting about people who have stereotypes about gamers is that they generally don't identify as gamers themselves, even if they play games. Something that I've noticed, particularly on this campus, is that people will do stuff like play Fallout 3 or play, you know, whatever the cool new sports game is or whatever, and they'll spend as much time playing those games as someone else might play World of Warcraft or someone else might play Red Light Center or whatever.
It is a online community, but it doesn't take the place of a real community, and I think that's a difference that people don't really get a lot.
Fortunately, I have some great friends that keep me social and away from the game. Unless, of course, we play the game together, and then I'm screwed. But, no, screwed.
I think it's easier to sort of blame gamers for stuff like lack of community on campus or, you know, these ongoing concerns about people being alienated from the modern world. Because then I think that then they don't have to do a kind of self-reflection and think about how that alienation impacts their daily lives or reflects in their friend group, for example. Like I was saying earlier, I think that when you talk about friendship communities created through like World of Warcraft or Red Light Center or Echo Bazaar or Second Life, you see these communities that sort of branch virtual communities and real life communities and are active in real and particular ways and are based around what's essentially a hobby, you know, so that they're not considered as real friendship groups or as real a hobby or as useful a hobby. It's just really, really interesting to me. And I sometimes wonder if it's the same sort of stigma attached to being like an artist, you know, and like doing something really creative that maybe other people don't see as being useful or interesting or productive. Because you'll see a lot of the same stereotypes that go on about being a gamer end up being really similar to the stereotypes associated with being like a really intense and sort of stereotypical artist, you know, where you like have your head in the clouds, maybe you have poor hygiene, you probably dress all in black, you probably have other weird friends, you know. And it's really interesting because I feel like that's a way of sort of marginalizing people who are incredibly creative and incredibly productive members of society.
Definitely a stereotype involved with World of Warcraft. I don't think it's warranted at all, but there is unfortunately still the stereotype of the 30-year-old man sitting in his mother's basement who does nothing all day but play this game. It's not at all what I found playing it, and honestly, when my friends first started playing World of Warcraft, I kind of made fun of them too, but I got the hang of it, and it's actually really, really fun. And I've met a lot of people through World of Warcraft that just are completely normal, have normal lives, normal jobs. They just do it for fun as a hobby, and I feel like that stereotype is like a very small percentage of the people who actually play. And I think it's really unfair to lump everyone into this group of this stereotype without even giving it a chance. I mean, people play Farmville all the time and nobody makes fun of them, even though it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, guys spend hours on Call of Duty, but nobody calls them like a loser who sits in their basement all day. It's the exact same thing with World of Warcraft.
Definitely a stereotype that plays about people that play World of Warcraft. That we're all nerds, that we all don't do anything with our lives, that we all sit down in a chair and don't go ever see the sunlight or ever care about other people or go out of our way to do something. Myself, I go out and play hockey. I party all the time. I go with my friends. I see movies. I love music. I go to concerts all the time.
So, I have a bunch of hobbies, gaming being one of them. I would say that you're definitely a connoisseur of video games in the gaming realm. However, at this point, it doesn't take over your entire life.
No.
So, as ridiculous as it is, playing World of Warcraft definitely changed my life. For the better. For the better. I met my fiance through World of Warcraft. Yeah, that sounds ridiculous. I know. I mean, me and Ryan met through World of Warcraft, but that's never been just our lives. I mean, I don't think I've ever played the game in the same room with him. There's always going to be that tiny number of people who do sit in their parents' basements and play World of Warcraft all day, but the reality is most people are normal and have normal lives and jobs. They do it for fun.
Face.